Okay, this one is the next generation model of the same one. I didn't like the way the first one came out, and once it's done, it's done. I could always make alterations, but it's very difficult once it's completed. But you know, a buddy of mine turns around after that and says, after I finished the first one, says, "Wow, that would be kind of cool if the stars would twinkle." And I'm like, you know, I thought about that. You know, I didn't quite figure out how I would do that, but that's something I definitely wanted too. And I came across a hat that had glowing fiber optics in it, and it was really kind of cool. So I'm like, I cannibalized that and put some of my LEDs to it, and along with the ships. This one doesn't have the asteroids in it, which are going to come later. But I did make some changes. I gave a little depth to it. Made the framework a little nicer to tuck all the stuff into it. And as you can see, there's the opposite end. I'm using a clamp to kind of keep it upright so it don't fall over. But there's that with the battery inside. And, I got the backing off, obviously, so I can display that. But there's, let me see if I can get that to sit up again. Alright, and let's see, are we back in there? Yeah. Yeah, so this is obviously the next generation. A little cleaner in the construction, and obviously I put a switch on there, so now it's a little easier to access. You can see the stars are solid one color LED. This model has 13 LEDs in it altogether. I wanted to try, a little situation where I had some of the fiber optics pop out of the model, so it would give a little depth to the stars. I only had one size fiber optic, so I tried to have it extend out a little bit. And this, the lights chase a little faster. It's got 3 paces to it. Had a little fun with that. I like the quicker pace to it. Seems like more action is happening. They're moving faster, and it's got the same communicator up on the side there. That's what that red light is next to the guy's head. And there's a monitor light on the inside in his cockpit. Same thing with the companion. In this case, I put no damage on the craft. Who knows? It's got some way of getting in and out of its atmosphere without doing any damage to the ship. Cool. But when it hits our atmosphere, all that friction is gonna, it's gonna create a problem. So they're gonna wind up with the damage after they re-enter the atmosphere. And I haven't done the other panel with the Tomcat chasing it, but that's coming pretty soon. And then I'll add all the damage and maybe even a couple missile hits, because it will definitely be chased by a couple of stingers or something to try and bring these guys down. So there's the second in that evolution of the model kit, the Alpha Centauri. What is that? The Alpha Centauri UFOs, short range. Yeah, short range saucers is what they refer to it as. But it's very interesting. You sit there and stare at that thing for a long time. Kids, my kids just sit there and they just zone out to it. And that's really what I built them for, was to try and get my kids to relax while they're, in their rooms, getting ready to crash out, and it gives them something, to sort of fantasize on. Space, the whole final frontier. Blah. All right. Well, I have one more or two more lit models that I want to try and highlight. Well, thank you for looking.